down. Why is you steady talking? I'm not playing with you, Marcus. Don't. I really love Marcus. Stop touching me. But Marcus makes me explode.
The more I get stuff sent to me, the more I see that I'm going to have to put the issue of violence against men, abusive women, and stuff like this on the front burner in the work I do. And I'm thankful that I'm doing so well with my brand that I can actually afford to do that. What you're about to see is going to shock you. I thought I'd seen it all until I saw this. If you have a son as a woman, you have a grandson, a brother, an uncle, any male person that you care for, I am sure you would not like to see him on the receiving end of what you're about to witness in this video. Like I said, it's shocking. So you watch and then you listen to my reaction at the end of it. The truth is, we've got to begin to talk about this. If you are a man, you need to become more vocal about it. It doesn't matter whether you're experiencing this kind of thing. The point is there are men going through this, and the more we begin to speak out, then the greater the chances are that the women who are doing this will realize that they can get called out and they actually made accountable. And for those of you who are women, you think it doesn't concern you, remember, you will have a male loved one who may end up at the hands, the receiving end of this kind of abuse if you keep letting it go. All right? Women need to begin to speak up as well. This woman cannot claim to love this man if she treated him this way. It's as simple as that. So you watch, listen to my comments, and then maybe let me know what you think.
Today's a really disturbing show. I want you to take a look at this fight between a man and a woman, and I think it's going to surprise you.
Stop playing with me. Sit down. Why is you steady talking? I'm not playing with you, Marcus. Don't. I really love Marcus. Stop touching me. But Marcus makes me explode. Keep playing with me. Who do you think you're talking to? Shut your mouth.
Even though Kendra hates me,
stop.
I know that she loves me. I know she has a good heart.
Shut.
And this wasn't just a one-time incident for this woman. She actually says that she has hit her boyfriend over 50 times, and that she has even kicked him in the face full force with her high-heeled stiletto, and she permanently has scarred his face. And on the way to the set today, I was like, you know what, I think I want to do this from my closet, from my shoe closet, because I was walking and I got a shot of these shoes and I'm like, oh my God. She actually kicked him in the face with something very similar to a shoe like this. Can you imagine that? Full force, bam, in your face. And that's just the beginning of a lot of the things that she's did. Let's get started. We've all seen headlines, you know, we've all seen it. We've seen headlines of men, even famous men, we know a lot of that, those stories, abusing women, right? Men hitting women. We've seen pictures and evidence and everything. But would you believe that almost 3 million men are assaulted by women every year? And for some reason, like when we hear stuff like, you know, a woman has hit a man, we don't take it seriously. We think, you know, he's strong, you know, he can handle it. Kendra and Andrea both admit that they physically beat the men that they are absolutely in love with, but they physically beat them. Now, Kendra, I know that you said that you've beaten him more than 50 times.
Yes.
What types of things have you done?
I've hit Marcus in the face. I've kicked him in the face with a high heel shoe. I've tried to slam his hand in the door. I've done lots of things.
I heard you chipped his tooth.
Yeah, I chipped his tooth.
Bloodied his nose?
His nose. I hit him in the face and mistakenly hit him in his nose, and his nose started bleeding.
Why are you emotional right now? I know that you're emotional.
Because I love him. I love him more than anything.
Why, Kendra, why do you hit your boyfriend?
I hit him for a number of reasons. The main reason is because he lies a lot. He lies constantly for no reason. I hit him because he's late all the time picking my son up for daycare and I have to work. I hit him because another thing, he'll tell me he's going one place and then I'll call and try to check up on him around his friends and he's not where he said he was. Mm-hmm. So that makes me to believe that he's cheating.
Mm-hmm. Check out what happened when Kendra and her boyfriend Marcus came here to the Tyra Show studios.
The Tyra Show producers told Kendra and Marcus that they needed to shoot a quick interview before they came on the show. What they did not know was that the interview room was set up with hidden cameras to capture Kendra's abusive attitude, which only comes out when she thinks she's alone with Marcus.
Keep playing with me.
My hand's not in your pants.
Keep playing with me.
Just as the interview was about to get going, the crew made up an excuse to leave the room.
We'll be right back. Hang on.
And that's when Kendra's not-so-sweet side came roaring out.
And you better shut
And if I
this
don't,
shit. You better shut
whatever.
What? What you gonna do?
I'll do nothing.
What is you gonna do?
Put your hand on my face.
No, you not. Sit down.
Why is you
Then
grabbing
this shit
me?
just saying talk about it. Then that's your problem.
Get off me, man. Get off me.
What? Don't stop with that. You go with that. I don't give a
If I
attitude.
don't now. Yeah,
Stop playing with me. You what the is wrong with you?
I don't care.
Shut the up talking to me like that.
Kendra, you didn't know the cameras were there. Why were you hitting? I didn't understand. You said cheating and lying, but you're just sitting in a room.
They did not show everything. On MySpace, I found where there was this woman that sent me a message, and she said, are you and Marcus still together? And I said, yes. And she said, I said, why? And she said, because I'm his girlfriend. And so I said, okay. And I started asking her questions just to see if she was telling the truth. And she said, okay, well, give me your number and I can call you. So I gave her my number and we talked. She knew his number. She knew his phone number. She knew recently his grandmother passed away. She knew about that. She knows about him moving away in Texas. She knows more than a typical MySpace person should know.
And so because you think he's cheating on you, you beat him.
It doesn't.
Even in like, when you're like in the public, you know what I mean? Like you're here in New York in a room waiting to do an interview and you just start beating him. I find it odd because I'm sure a lot of us in the audience and me and a lot of people at home watching have been lied to, have been cheated on. Everything that you said, I feel like you're telling the story of some of my ex-boyfriends and my relationship with them. What we're trying to get at is there's no reason to hit somebody. Do you understand? There's an issue. I know that you told my producers that you want him to hurt the way you hurt. Tell us what that means.
When I talk to him, like, you know, you would do or anybody, I'll talk to him and he'll have this attitude. He'll sit there and he'll look at me and then he'll turn and look like this or turn away or he'll walk away. You know, like he tried to do when we were talking about, that's that part you saw. We'll try to talk about it and he'll get up and walk away from the situation when I'm trying to talk to him. And
would you rather he hit you back?
No.
You sure? You paused a little bit.
I don't want him to hit me.
No?
No.
But when he walks away, he's not giving you attention.
It's like when he walks away, he's trying to get away from solving the situation. I want to know why he's doing whatever it is I'm upset about.
Is he also walking away from getting punched in the head? Is he also walking away from getting verbally abused?
Maybe, yes.
Has he ever hit you back?
He hasn't hit me, but he'll grab me and hold my arms behind my back or grab me around my arms so I can't like
So
move.
like self-defense is what that's called? Okay. What about mental abuse? Do you ever say any things that are real hurtful?
Yeah.
I saw a lot of things there. What else?
I call him a male whore. I'll call him ignorant, you fool, say stuff like that.
We'll be right back.
I can't believe what I just saw. I'm absolutely disgusted. Was it just me or was she crazy? Who beats their husband or boyfriend and says they love them? I don't know. I'm not buying that she loves him. It's unacceptable to hit a man even if he's cheating on you. Leave. You have serious issues.
After I experienced domestic violence and abuse, verbal, psychological, emotional, and physical, at the hands of my own partner for years. It began little by little, it began to grow. My kids were very small, but later on it escalated and got to a point where I was getting physically injured and things like that. But it was really the verbal and the emotional and psychological abuse that really was really devastating. I really had to be strong to emerge from that without being permanently damaged. In 2018, the DSVRT, Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team, invited me to the Muson Center as a male survivor of domestic violence to share my story. And, before then, I had launched my Facebook page on domestic violence against men, and I began to kind of share stories and talk about it, and share some of my story too. Apart from that, there were a lot of things I began to do in terms of I started doing a magazine just to create awareness, because I realized that looking at myself and the people that knew me, it was so difficult for many people to believe I was going through that. And it was something that I realized was obviously happening to other men, but they were choosing to keep quiet. And that was what I did for several years, until I got to a point where I said, you know what, since you won't stop, I'm going to go out and begin to talk to third parties. And I began with family, and then from then I took it to, organizations, But I'm going to tell you this: if you are a man and you're going through abuse, or if you are related or a friend or aware of a man who's going through it, I want to let you know straight away. I would tell you that in the Nigerian social space, you will find that 99% of the time there's no help for the man. You're not going to get anything. And the 1% you will get, more often than not, they just want to use you. That's all. And I will talk about that. I'm going to do this video series on abusive women. I'm going to do a series. I'm going to talk about in one of the episodes about what ways you are going to get used. And I'm going to teach you how to protect yourself from experiencing that kind of secondary abuse, because being used in that manner amounts to secondary abuse. The woman was doing what she was doing. She thought there was no one there, no record of it. And she did not know that actually they were being taped. And so it was able to, for me, it resonated with me, because that kind of captures what I experienced. Because the person who was behaving like that to me, she had a very sweet personality, away from myself and herself when we were privately alone or with the kids. Her behavior was completely different whenever she was with the public. She had a very sweet side to her. Oniwa tutu, someone with a kind of a pleasing personality. That was the way she was described. Yet she could become a monster the minute she felt there was nobody there to witness what she was going to say or do. And she would turn around within a matter of seconds and completely deny every single thing, deny doing every single thing she had done, if I chose to tell the third party. So when I saw this video and I saw the contrast in the behavior of this woman when Tyra Banks was talking to her, I said exactly what I'm talking about. I told somebody about what's called a closet narcissist. It's like they have a multiple personality kind of, or duplicate personality. One personality is the one they show to the world, and the other personality is the one they show they release when they are in private, with you, the target of their abuse. And you hear her talk, you hear her say the things she's going to say. And what's amazing to me is the fact that even when she was saying it, she did not seem to realize how terrible. She did not seem to understand the gravity of what she had said she'd done and what she had been caught on tape doing, because she didn't know she was being recorded, so she was then asked about that. So for me, I think it's very instructive, because these people, these women that do this thing, because they feel they are women, they have this sense of entitlement. They even have no understanding that they are doing damage to the man, because they've been made to feel that the man should take anything they dish out. Now, the physical abuse is not the one that touches that's most damaging. People don't get this. It's actually the verbal, psychological, and emotional abuse that is most devastating. This couple didn't even have children. Think about when they begin to use the children against the man. That one even makes it worse. The man wants to go crazy, but he still has to control himself. But the woman does not have to apply such restrictions, such restraint. She unleashes everything she can on the man, knowing that society protects her. And then she turns around and lies. But in this case, the woman was even honest. Maybe because she knew she was talking to people who had already recorded her behavior. I don't know. Or maybe because whatever she was paid to be on the show. But the point is, These women get away with all these things because even after all that, look at the audience. Look at the behavior of the audience. They weren't outraged. Now, if it had been reversed, where the man was the one doing all those terrible things on camera, hidden camera, to the woman, oh my God, you can be damn sure you probably not walk out of that studio without getting arrested. Now, the thing is this. These men that are abused in this manner were once somebody's little boys, little sons. They were once 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, and they were under the protection of their quote-unquote mothers. Then another mother, a woman like their mother, chooses to turn on them in this manner and treat them in this manner. And society just looked at it. Meanwhile, when they were little boys, they were the love of everybody's lives. You know, people love them. Oh, come here, little boy, come here. So what makes it, just because he became a man, he becomes an enemy of the society. Now, I believe it's time for men to start speaking up. I believe it's time for men to start calling out women for their abusive behavior. And we have to do it by being united. We cannot afford to keep playing the game of political correctness. It's in our own interest to do this, because if you have a son, you do not wish for him to experience this kind of abuse at the hand of any woman. Nobody deserves this kind of abuse. Nobody, whether you are male or female, nobody is deserving of it. And the thing is, women have no right to do it, just like a man has no right to do it. The thing is, society seems to make women feel they can do it and get away with it. Oh, it's not nice, but nothing happens. There are no consequences. But for the man, there's always a consequence. In fact, sometimes for the man has been abused, when he calls for help, reaches out to the police, he ends up getting exposed to secondary abuse, if not even being arrested. Like in this wonderful American society, what tends to happen is just arrest the man. And even in Britain, to the West. So there's so much that we need to change. Enough of this mad system where we're trying to overcompensate for abuse of women that happened centuries ago or decades ago. It's enough, because we're creating damaged, fractured, dysfunctional families, dysfunctional human beings, and it's going to continue to affect us as a society. The sooner we stop it, the better for all of us. So as I said, this is going to be a series. I'm going to be taking particular episodes. I'm going to be featuring cases of abusive women who were caught, so that you know that this is not, it's the one we hear that we know about. The thing is, there are a lot of men who have chosen to stay silent, and I have some of them coming to me because of my magazine. I've heard stories, but some of them I'm going to show you are the ones that are actually documented before you say we're making up the stories.